Scope.
I'm cold.
Cold weather grips the eastern half of the country, with some areas facing freeze warnings tonight. And wet weather is forcing some people to keep rain gear handy today. These stories plus in-depth forecast and analysis next in this edition of Weather Scope.
Well, thanks for tuning into the Weather Channel. It's time for Weather Scope, and it's cold in a lot of the east. We're going to take you on into New York State. As you can see, that cold weather is certainly coming on into the picture in the eastern part of the United States. In New York City today, people not only took time to dress warmer themselves, but the pets need to be bundled up too. Must be a dog's world. Highs today hovered around 50 degrees, 10 degrees below normal. Joggers out today got a sampling of what temperatures will be like tomorrow during the New York City Marathon. A chilly day, but you know what? I don't think marathon runners have too much of a complaint about cold weather. They would rather have that than the hot, humid weather usually. But as you can see on the map, it's chilly in the Midwest, 30s and 40s on toward Washington, and 50s even in the deep south, but 50s then double back all the way into the Canadian prairies. So there is a warm-up on the way, which we're going to take a look at in just a minute. Already 20 degrees higher in Bismarck, 17 degrees higher in Rapid City, and 16 higher in Amarillo. There's your recovery, but temperatures are 10 to 20 degrees lower from Raleigh through Atlanta and even New Orleans, Louisiana. So get ready for a cold night. Temperatures still 35 in Burlington, where some snow flurries have been in the air. Still 45 in Bangor, 37 in Caribou, so Maine not one of the colder eastern states today. Instead, 35 Rochester, on and off snow showers today. And it feels like 18 at Saginaw, 14 at Detroit and Pittsburgh. But New York still feels like 29. So you still have some time to prepare for the coldest. Temperatures sitting at just about their max for the day. Atlanta 55, Nashville 47, 60 at Charleston, but 80 in Tampa. Now Jacksonville, where the football game is going on between Florida and Georgia, temperatures dropping rapidly and some rain showers in the area. So it looks like a chilly night even in Jacksonville. The upper Midwest is cold. 33 Cleveland, with on-off snow. We've had an inch or two in the snow belt east of Cleveland. 34 the Twin Cities and 28 in Marquette, and wind chills are down as low as 6 on the upper peninsula of Michigan, 10 in Duluth, and it feels like 17 in Grand Rapids and 19 in snowy Cleveland, Ohio. Speaking of cold, we have the chill advisories, the freeze warnings now, encompassing some towns like Greenville, South Carolina, Atlanta, Georgia, Birmingham, Montgomery, Alabama, even down to about Jackson, Miss, Little Rock, and even Dallas. After a bit of a warm-up in Texas today, tonight it'll be cold. The current weather map showing that we have some snow showers in parts of the Northeast, and that includes Northeast Ohio, and high pressure now building into the Southeast United States. We have that sun angle decreasing right now in the Northeast, and you can see the clouds that are yielding some snows. We go to the, combination of the infrared satellite with white clouds and green precipitation off the East Coast, off Jersey and south of Cape Cod. That's all rain. And a lot of eastern Maine is rain, but then from New Hampshire onward to New York and Michigan and Ohio and Pennsylvania, that's all snow, and the vast majority of that is lake effect. That's slacking off just a little bit from Saginaw to Flint and Jackson, Michigan, off to Toledo, Ohio. But the lake effect snow goes on. Cleveland, the three big lake effect snowbelt counties, Ashtabula, Lake, and Geauga counties in Ohio, still with some winter weather advisories. Jamestown, New York, has had now up to 6.5 inches of snow just today. Still some showers of snow around Rochester and Syracuse, although Oswego has gotten off kind of easy today because the wind direction has shifted on Lake Ontario. There's your national picture, and with more on that, here's Jill.
Well, Mike already talked about the snow spinning around that area of low pressure, which you can pick out very nicely here on the satellite picture up in Canada, north of New York State. But our front can also be seen very well in the satellite picture, streaking the clouds back into North Carolina. It has been a miserable day. North Carolina and Elizabeth City, chilly rain started falling early this morning and continued all day. Temperatures dropped into the 40s, coupled with winds of 30 miles an hour. It felt pretty raw out there. It's clearing out, drying out, but expect it to be blustery and chilly tonight. So if you're headed outside, you won't need the umbrella, we think, for much longer, but you certainly will need a coat. It's feeling more like winter all the time through here. So again, there's our front, and you can see all the clouds kind of slipping off the coastline. And with that, the colder air is driving south. and coming all the way down into Florida. So this hasn't been a big rain producer. The cold air certainly takes the cake on the stories. Precipitation, as you can see from here, accumulating since 7 o'clock this morning. Most locations ½ inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch. I don't think we even saw anybody come in with an inch. So here's how it looks on the radar. The rain from the Outer Banks on back towards Myrtle Beach and Charleston, just about all off the coast at this point. It does stream down into Florida, and showers are from Jacksonville to Ocala now. I just checked the lightning detection data. No lightning out here. So it looks like a fairly intense line of thunder showers, but no problems here with any big storms. Next radar stop takes us over to New Mexico and Arizona. Looks real impressive here, but no rain reported, no snow reported. It's dry down at the lowest elevations. We do expect to see some rain come in with this area of low pressure that I think you can pick up pretty nicely here on the satellite picture. But it's going to take a while to saturate the atmosphere. As that happens, we'll get that rain either tonight or into tomorrow morning. So expect to see more rain in the southwest within about 24 hours, and we will see that in the forecast in a moment. Mike?
As we notice all the clear skies and snow cover in the west, we're going to talk about sun angle, which allows the sun to get a lot lower on our cloud shots this time of the year. Here's more.
In late December, the sun is at a low angle to the horizon for the northern hemisphere. Therefore, the sun is not above the horizon for long each day. The nights are longer and the air is colder. The sun's energy doesn't have as long to warm the atmosphere. But by early April, there is approximately a 30-degree difference in the angle of the sun at midday. This allows for longer days and more sunlight to warm the air. Also, because the sun is at a higher angle, its energy doesn't bounce off the Earth's atmosphere as readily. In winter, that bounce effect also keeps the sun from keeping us warm. By June, the sun is 17 degrees higher in the sky. Besides longer days and less atmospheric bounce, the sunlight is also more concentrated. The concentration is much like holding a flashlight straight above your hand and then holding it at an angle to your hand. Overhead, the light is concentrated. However, at the angle, the light falling in your hand is less concentrated and not as bright. Bill Keneally, the Weather Channel.
All right, time for that forecast. Snow showers continue to pile up on the Tug Hill Plateau. Already a foot of snow on the ground and maybe another foot to come. That's pretty amazing stuff. It will be tapering off by Sunday afternoon. Snows at that time will start piling up on the Wasatch and the San Juan, Sangre de Cristo Mountains as that area of low pressure that was just showed you not really producing much yet should start bringing the rain in through noon tomorrow and thereafter, and a little bit of snow as well. There's your look at snowfall forecast. Snow melt, of course, we'll see the majority of it. Temperatures in the 20s, and it'll be in the 20s all the way down into Alabama and North Georgia as well. We start to see a bit of a warm-up, however, as we finish off the weekend. Things are looking better by Monday. Notice, however, if you live in Minneapolis, that the next blast of cool weather, not really cold weather, but cool stuff is coming your way by Wednesday. The mountains in the west will be in the 30s. Southeast has a nice return to 70s after a few tough days with wind chills in the 30s. We're not used to that kind of thing, so we're rebounding by Thursday. Here's how it looks. No big storms coming your way. Rain showers as our storm that's in the southwest today gets a little more activity going with it and moves out into the plains on Monday. But rain showers, no big thunderstorms, no heavy, steady rain, nothing like that. And it really loses its gusto by Tuesday when it moves into the Great Lakes. Next storm behind it is equally weak, snow showers, maybe a few rain showers coming into Nebraska and Kansas on Tuesday. We start picking up a little bit more rain by Wednesday. So we may see things get a little bit more active as that front stretches scattered showers from about Houston all the way up to Boston by Thursday. Stay tuned. We're going to check out Florida coming up next.
The weather guys were right. It's raining. Naturalizer Cold Weather Collection. Put them in your forecast.
Look for Naturalizer cold weather boots at this fine retailer.
This is your local forecast. Information you can plan on, because now we show it on the 8s of every hour. Local on the 8s on the Weather Channel.
radiators are made of it, making them a big target for pitting and failure. But Prestone antifreeze bonds with aluminum, forming the Prestone zone of protection against corrosion. This winter, protect your car in the Prestone zone. And now there's a new Prestone antifreeze with a new low-tox formula for an extra margin of safety around pets and wildlife. New Prestone Low-Tox. It's extra protection in the Prestone zone.
Imagine a natural supplement that can actually help you think better. It's ginkgoba, shown in tests to help improve your memory and sharpen concentration. Now that's a big idea. Remember ginkgoba, the thinking person supplement.
Right now, the weather is changing. What's here today can be gone tomorrow. Because we know you need to plan and prepare, we dedicate a special team to forecasting the outlook for the days ahead. So you know what to expect. Watch our 5-day planner, 20 minutes after every hour on the Weather Channel. No place on Earth has better weather.
As we check the Florida forecast, we'll go to that satellite picture in motion, noticing quite an array of clouds all the way down in the Caribbean, a pretty good tropical wave down there. We'll tell you more about that toward the end of the hour. Just a tropical wave, a front visibly passing through the Gulf of Mexico. In Jacksonville, where we have the Georgia Bulldogs playing the Florida Gators today, the temperatures dropped at least 10 degrees since the beginning of the game, and there was even some light rain. So things changing rapidly in the Jacksonville vicinity, some showers moving down toward Daytona Beach and Ocala, and maybe even a thunderstorm as the northwest winds get chillier by the hour in much of Florida. Let's take a look at the temperature pattern that we have right now, and we'll notice that the water temps are still 75 in Panama City and 80 in Daytona Beach, Vero Beach. I'm sure with this next cool front, though, we should see some changes on those temperatures with water temp 80 around Key West. But the forecast highs now, at least 10 degrees cooler in Jacksonville, Panama City, 71 in Clearwater, 80 only in South Florida around Miami Beach. Coming up, the Northeast forecast. Stay with us.
What's your biggest problem with vacuum cleaners?
I don't like buying filter bags.
I don't think I ever came home with the proper bag.
Every time I had to empty the bag, there was always stuff would come out.
Throw those bags away forever. Introducing the Phantom Fury vacuum with patented dual cyclone action. Non-stop power devours dirt and deposits it into a clear bin. It's easy to empty.
It's incredible how fast and how powerful the Phantom vacuum really is.
The Phantom Fury comes with a HEPA filter on its exhaust.
The HEPA filter is one of the most efficient filters you can use to control dust.
The Phantom Fury is 2 machines in one, upright and cleaning one.
Push a button and you can just hit the high places, the low places, places where you can't reach, and it saves you time.
Call now for a free video and brochure. The Phantom Fury vacuum cleans up a storm, and you'll never change a bag again. Call now.
You don't have to have bags.
Time for our Northeast forecast. It hasn't been the best of days. We have snow flying and really piling up. The Tug Hill Plateau already reporting a foot of snow and expecting another 6, maybe 12 inches on top of that. Around Cleveland, it's been snowing. Wind chill something around 9 degrees at the moment. And the rain is exiting, or has exited, we should say. Hardly any rain to speak of today. It's really just been a snow day. You can see the area of low pressure spinning up there in Canada. That's what's bringing those winds across the waters and producing all of the lake effect snow. The rain with our front has pushed off the coast and shouldn't be bothering us any longer. We do have a couple of cool days ahead. Let's see how we're doing. Clear it out. Nice day really for Sunday, and Monday looks great as well. Temperatures start warming up, and the next chance of rain comes in on Thursday. Doesn't look like a bad forecast, really. New York City, hopefully we'll get into the low 30s for Thursday. Low 30s, low 60s, that is, for Thursday. That sounds better, with a few rain showers. But as temperatures get back up closer to normal, it should be a pretty decent week ahead after a cold weekend all the way down to Washington, D.C.
People are talking to people. They'll simply say it. You won't believe it.
You can believe it. Sprint's great dime-a-minute rate just got better. Not just a little better. No way. Sprint said,
Let's give them something to talk about.
and this is it. Call for Sprint Cents and you'll pay just 10 cents a minute, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to the number you call most often. So call now and start talking.
There ain't no mystery to figure out.
And when you sign up for Sprint Cents, there's no confusion about what you're paying. It's always just 10 cents a minute on all your other state-to-state calls to anywhere in the country. Every evening, every night, and all weekend long.
Let's give them something to talk about.
On top of that, you'll get 10% cash back after your first year with Sprint. So call now. Get 10 cents a minute all day to the number you call most. Call now.
1-800-913-9725. Get weather forecasts for over 1,600 cities worldwide on the Weather Channel website, www.weather.com. No place on earth has better weather.
Hi, Bob Vila here with an exciting new hand tool from Sears. If you're impressed with our Craftsman RoboGrip pliers, wait till you see this. Hey, Jim, how you doing with that table?
Oh, these hex nuts are driving me crazy. My adjustable wrench keeps rounding off the corners, and I don't have box end wrenches for all the different sizes.
Here, try the Craftsman Pocket Socket adjustable box end wrench. With a one-hand adjustment, you can lock onto nuts and bolts of almost any size, metric or standard, from 5/16 to 3/4 of an inch, or 8 to 18 millimeters. The closed box end clamps tight, and heat-treated steel construction makes it durable. And because it's a Craftsman hand tool, made in America, it's guaranteed forever.
For rush delivery of your Craftsman Pocket Socket, get your Sears charge or other credit card ready and call 1-800-219-5577. That's 1-800-219-5577. Or send your check or money order for only $19.99 plus shipping and handling to the address on your screen. Call 1-800-219-5577 right now.
This is your local forecast, and stay tuned. The national outlook is just ahead in our 5-day planner. The Weather Channel. No place on earth has better weather.
Time now for the 5-day business planner, and first of all, we're going to show you what the temperatures look like, because very relevant to tonight, since we're going to have the first freeze of the season in many areas in the east and the south, and at the same time, the western plains are actually warming up compared to what they have been. A front sweeping through northern Florida right now and on the way southward. Temperatures down to 52 in Atlanta after being 55, 36 in Cincinnati after getting a little bit of snow yesterday, but still a relatively mild 46 in Boston and New York. We're 34 in the Twin Cities, which is an improvement actually, but still 28 at International Falls. But notice the 58 in Rapid City, 63 in Denver. The return flow around high pressure is very nice. 63 in Dallas, threatens to go down into the 30s tonight, and maybe some freezing temperatures in the suburbs. Wind chill feels like 17 in Chicago, 19 in Detroit, 13 in Pittsburgh, and 18 in Buffalo. Some snow in the Great Lakes with wind chills like that. You need to cover up your face and everything else with that kind of chill in the air. The freezes are coming in outside Washington, D.C., west of Raleigh, and anywhere from Columbia to Greenville, South Carolina. Atlanta included in the freeze warning area, along with the north side of Montgomery, Birmingham, north side of Jackson, and onward into parts of Texas and even Arkansas. We're looking at upper-level low pressure. You could see that rotation in Quebec province north of New York State. That's the I guess the mother lode of cold air and low pressure. Parts of Maine have been getting rain, especially in the east and the coast today. Showers, light showers, but turning to snow in the mountains into New Hampshire, Vermont. Then the lake effect snow commences. It's beginning to let up a little bit in Michigan, but Lake Erie and Lake Ontario should continue to produce snow showers during much of the overnight hours. Cleveland had a burst of snow today, now down to 32 again, so at least a dusting in the grassy areas and maybe slickening up on the roadways, as Lake Geauga and Ashtabula counties have those advisories for snow. Erie County, Pennsylvania, mostly light snow. Jamestown, you see it in the upper right, 6.5 inches of snow and a burst of heavy snow, a couple of quick inches during the day today. But Pittsburgh, mostly that snow on into the outlying areas there and some of the hills nearby. Youngstown, Ohio, has been getting some snow. But on backward into upstate New York, still a band coming off Lake Ontario east of Rochester towards Syracuse, and back into the Lake Erie snowbelts around Sinclairville, New York. You've had some snow there, and just ending on into the Catskill Mountains of New York State. Let's check the Sunday morning forecast, and the big factor there is high pressure moving on in to the deep south and even the southeast coast. With temperatures that will be getting down to freezing in much of the area, you can see these snow showers still continuing off Lakes Erie and Ontario, and some low pressure getting started in the southwest, bringing snow into southern Utah and the plateaus of northern Arizona. There's your freeze area, all the way to the deep south and as far west as Texas and as far north as Ohio. You'll have freezing north of that, but you've already had your first, so the warnings are not out there. Continue the snow in parts of Pennsylvania and upstate New York and maybe Vermont and New Hampshire, and move that front southward through Miami, Florida. Dramatically cooler weather in Florida. The return flow, though, kind of warm in the plains, and we're seeing that snow spreading into Colorado and New Mexico with some rain on the west coast, north of about Oregon, and snow in the Cascades. Not too much on the precipitation to start, although the lake effect snows could tally up to 3 to 6 more on the Tug Hill Plateau of New York, and parts of the Maine Mountains and even Vermont and New Hampshire getting a little bit of snow overnight. Temperatures 20s into the deep south, freezing line way south as you just saw, but bring the 70s back into Kansas tomorrow. Still a chilly day in the northeast and the Appalachians. Monday beginning to slack off on the cold effect east of the Rockies, and for election day, downright mild in the south and kind of cool in the Rockies, but weather problems should be limited for the vote on Tuesday. Let's take a look at Monday first of all. With an upper level wave of energy passing through the Midwest, bucking up against that high, some showers. Notice the snow entering the northwestern corner of the nation. For election day, mostly mountain snow problems and a few showers in the lakes. Really a great day to go out there and vote. For Wednesday into Thursday, the northwest gets active and a front sort of moves its way on toward the northeast.
There's one vehicle built to handle the wide-open spaces and the not-so-wide-open spaces. The Audi A6 Quattro. With Quattro all-wheel drive, it's what more and more 4x4 owners are driving and parking every day. Only Quattro, only from Audi.
We asked people to guess the name of this delicious cereal from Kellogg's.
Sweet biscuits from another planet.
I've got it.
Sweet honey bonanza.
Surprisingly, no one guessed Healthy Choice.
Whoa.
Healthy Choice toasted brown sugar squares with golden honey brown sugar baked into crunchy whole grain squares.
I know what it is. Honey toasted cheesers.
Healthy Choice cereal from Kellogg's. Try it and see what you'd call it.
It's good. It's good.
You want a name?
WeatherScope. It's all the weather you want. Every 30 minutes on the hour and half hour on the Weather Channel.
Time to check a few radars. We'll start you around Cleveland. Hello, winter. Wind chill, 19 degrees. It's snowing out there. Of course, as you get to the east side of the city, that's where you're going to find the majority of the accumulation in the snow belt. And you can even see that. Heading right down towards Youngstown. Erie's been reporting snow in Pennsylvania. Jamestown in New York has been getting snow as well. Actually, the heaviest snow overall has been in the snow belt off Lake Ontario over towards the Tug Hill Plateau, where in Montague, New York, they're measuring 1 foot of snow. And as you can see from the radar here, snow continues. That is a streak of rain, however, that's really just off the Cape and stretches on back It's off the Virginia coast now. No rain showers reported, even though it looks like it's raining out around Cape Cod. However, they're still getting some rain around the Outer Banks, down towards Myrtle Beach. Charleston, you're just about finished with it. It is going to be a blustery and a chilly night behind it. Even Florida, as this front is marked by the rain coming through Ocala, it's going to go all the way down to the Florida Straits, and it's going to be a little cool in behind it tomorrow. We'll tell you all about that cool weather forecast coming up on WeatherScope.
You've heard the album Evergreen, Mandolin Music for Christmas on the Weather Channel and loved it. Because of the overwhelming number of requests, Evergreen is now being offered along with another wonderful album, Pickin' on Christmas, which features holiday favorites performed in the country and bluegrass pickin' tradition. This all-instrumental 2-album set contains 30 enchanting Christmas classics performed by master musicians on traditional instruments, including the mandolin, fiddle, dobro, 5-string banjo, acoustic, and steel guitars. You can order this 30-song Christmas collection today by calling 1-800-332-8457. The 2 cassettes are $19.95, and the 2 CDs are $24.95, plus $4 for shipping and handling. Call 1-800-332-8457. Again, that's 1-800-332-8457.
Ahead on WeatherScope, a comprehensive report on the latest weather across the nation. Plus a look ahead, coming up on WeatherScope right after your local forecast. This is your local forecast. Weather information you can plan on, only on the Weather Channel.
Some people story. And we take you on in the higher than yesterday. 21 in Atlanta, battling to stay above freezing as the snowflakes continue to fall. Chicago 35, Duluth 27, feels, and Atlanta included. Maybe downtown you might get. Syracuse getting light snow. We have had up to a foot of snow though in Lewis County in New York. Jamestown there on your left side of your picture has had 6.5 inches of snow, most of that this afternoon. Bradford's been only 29 degrees, one of the colder spots that's been snowing in Pennsylvania. Youngstown with snow, Cleveland still getting snow, and the lake effect advisories for Ashtabula Lake and Geauga counties in Ohio, and even Erie County, Pennsylvania stands to get more snow. Here's the potential, still off Lake Erie in a tri-state area. New York State east of Lake Ontario, and then the mountains of Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine through noon tomorrow to get a few more inches of snow. Jill?
All right, thanks, Mike. Our satellite picture here will show us that area of low pressure spinning there in Canada, but it also shows the front. And notice how it is swiping those clouds, moving them off the Carolina coastline. We'll say goodbye to the rain. But boy, what a day it was in Elizabeth City, North Carolina. Miserable day. Chilly rain started falling early this morning and continued all day long. Temperatures dropped into the 40s, coupled by winds gusting to 30 miles an hour. And tonight, while it will be drier, it will be blustery and chilly, and be prepared for a chilly Sunday to finish off your weekend. So yes, the rain is exiting quickly here, but that cold air funneling down on the west side of that area of low pressure is going to make it all the way down really into Florida. We're going to be feeling at least a little bit of a chill. The rain hasn't been terribly heavy, just steady today. So as you see on our accumulation here, our radar estimate, accumulating since 7 o'clock this morning, maybe about 3/4 of an inch in a few locations. That's about it, and we're getting rid of it quickly, actually. Norfolk has dried out. Looks like Elizabeth City, you finished with the rain, but out around Cape Hatteras, down through Myrtle Beach. Still some rain showers in the area. In Charleston, I think you're just about finished. Savannah, clearing out as well. Just the cool weather to follow. Our front slices all the way down across Florida. Ocala seeing some showers. No thunderstorms here, though. We had what appeared to be a bit of a line of thunderstorms developing, but I checked the lightning data. No lightning strikes at all, so we're in good shape here. This front will go all the way down to the Florida Straits tomorrow. You will dry out, but yes, even Florida is going to see maybe a 10-degree drop in temperatures. To the west we go, and we just keep checking, but we haven't been able to find anybody reporting rain or snow through here. It's showing up on radar. The lowest elevations of the atmosphere are pretty dry, but our area of low pressure, which I think you can see here on the satellite picture fairly well, indicated by that little arc of clouds from Arizona back into California, that's going to start producing that rain and snow in the overnight hours or into tomorrow. And we'll see just how much we get. It doesn't look like a strong system. We'll talk about that in our forecast. Mike?
Thanks, Jill. As we look at that satellite photograph, we notice with time things kind of get a little darker in Colorado and Wyoming, but are still bright off the California coast. That's because of sun angle. And also the change of seasons can be blamed on that. Here's more.
In late December, the sun is at a low angle to the horizon for the northern hemisphere. Therefore, the sun is not above the horizon for long each day. The nights are longer and the air is colder. The sun's energy doesn't have as long to warm the atmosphere. But by early April, there is approximately a 30-degree difference in the angle of the sun at midday. This allows for longer days and more sunlight to warm the air. Also, because the sun is at a higher angle, its energy doesn't bounce off the Earth's atmosphere as readily. In winter, that bounce effect also keeps the sun from keeping us warm. By June, the sun is 17 degrees higher in the sky. Besides longer days and less atmospheric bounce, the sunlight is also more concentrated. The concentration is much like holding a flashlight straight above your hand and then holding it at an angle to your hand. Overhead, the light is concentrated. However, at the angle, the light falling in your hand is less concentrated and not as bright. Bill Keneally, the Weather Channel.
All right, our forecast for Sunday calls for an end to the lake effect snow, but probably not until late afternoon or evening. High pressure then covers the entire eastern U.S., even Florida. Sees the end to the rain, and it'll be chilly, but a nice day. Meanwhile, in the west, that area of low pressure that now is starting to bring the clouds will eventually produce some rain and snow. In the southwest, we have another area of low pressure approaching the northwest. So, again, more light rain and snow. Temperatures in the 20s tomorrow morning. It is going to be a cold start for the New York Marathon. Afternoon highs there in the 40s. Notice the warm up in the plains. Well, now you'll have southerly winds, so we should see 60s and maybe even 70s. Things are looking certainly more bearable first few days of next week as we see 70s returning to Charleston, South Carolina, and on over to maybe Little Rock by Tuesday. Looking pretty good until the next blast of cool weather starts coming in. No big changes coming up in the week ahead. As a matter of fact, the storms that we have on the map look to be pretty weak. A few showers coming out. International Falls, not cold enough for snow this go around, but rain showers expected on Monday down through Des Moines, down to Oklahoma City as well. As that storm system goes over the Great Lakes, it really fizzles. So we'll have maybe a few morning showers, but not a big deal for you in Cleveland, Toledo, and Indianapolis. Next storm quickly rushes out to cover with the last one left behind with some snow in the mountains of Utah up to about Jackson Hole, Wyoming. We already have a nice little snowpack in Colorado, Wyoming, and Utah, so we'll add a little bit to it. Not a big snow maker, but that system will maybe give us a few inches and then move out to be a rainmaker, stretching from Houston to Detroit on Wednesday, and then we'll stretch that rain all the way up to about New York City by Thursday. Stay tuned. We'll take a look at international weather next.
We could really use a vacation with a flavor
And romance.
all its own.
We could really use a vacation. That will give us memories to last a lifetime.
Discover the continent where Puerto pristine beaches, 500 years of history, and an unforgettable vacation. Only Puerto Rico puts it all within your reach.
This is your local forecast. Information you can plan on, because now we show it on the 8s of every hour. Local on the 8s on the Weather Channel.
sneaking my Milano cookies.
Tim? Is he capable of indulging himself the way I do? The baby. Would she know how to savor every moment?
Pepperidge Farm Milano, the finest dark chocolate in perfect balance with 2 cookies of exquisite texture.
The plumber. Could he possibly appreciate?
Nah. Milano cookies from Pepperidge Farm. Treasure was meant to be discovered.
Now from the Weather Channel, 2 great products, 1 low price. The 1997 Everything Weather Wall Calendar. 12 spectacular photo weatherscapes will transport you to a beautiful world full of color and excitement season after season, featuring a trio of historical weather events each month. The first all-weather calendar produced exclusively by the Weather Channel. Plus, the Weather Channel presents the must-see tornado home video event of the year, Tornado Chase 96. Witness actual tornado encounters. See rare, never-before-seen footage of the year's most spectacular storms, all in this fascinating home video, available exclusively from the Weather Channel. The Tornado Chase 96 home video and the 1997 Everything Weather Calendar. Order both today and save $2. Call 1-800-626-9477 or send $29.95 plus $4.95 shipping and handling to the address on the screen.
Time for a look at international weather. We'll start you off with average highs for this time of year. It's turning a little bit colder in Europe, just like here in the States, of course. And you'll find 40s and 50s dominate 60s down along the Mediterranean. November tends to be a pretty wet month, especially around Lisbon and northwestern Scotland, up to 9 inches of rain on after a typical November. That's pretty impressive. And they'll get some of that on Sunday, it looks like. Windy conditions for most of the British Isles, rain in Scotland, some snow up towards Norway and Sweden, and sunny skies, some nice weather down along the Mediterranean with even some 70s, hanging tough. Athens, partly cloudy, upper 60s for Sunday. Showers in Brussels, so you should see some sun, and could get up to 60 degrees in London. That's not bad. Mid-70s in Madrid. Afternoon showers in Frankfurt. Rome, nice day, mostly sunny in the mid-60s. Paris, just a risk of a shower, not a bad day. Mostly cloudy skies in Vienna. Well, stay tuned. That snow is continuing to pile up. We'll tell you what kind of problems we might have next.
Had enough of high credit card rates? You know, the average American pays about 17%. But you're not average. You deserve better. You pay all your bills on time. You deserve to pay less. Now that's more like it. A 7.9% Visa card from a bank you know, Chase Manhattan. Call 1-800-333-9100 to apply for the card that's going to save you money. You can transfer your high-interest balances, and you don't pay an annual fee. So come on, call and apply for a Chase Visa with a fixed 7.9% rate until June 1997. Because credit like yours deserves an interest rate like ours. The 7.9% Chase Visa. Anything more is just too much. 1-800-333-9100.
Big travel time going to and from college football games and whatnot, as we're looking at a little bit of snow for your travel off Lake Ontario and Lake Erie in upstate New York and even Ohio and Pennsylvania. Let's take a look at a satellite and radar composite now, and of course the clouds will be in white and the rain and actually snow to the north in green, lots of it coming off Lake Erie and Ontario. We've had some heavy snowbursts around Cleveland and some accumulations around Jamestown, New York. Speaking of which, let's see how the accumulations will go overnight. Through noon Sunday, still parts of the snow belt north of Cleveland and on into Pennsylvania. Bradford's been snowing with 29 degrees, so it's got to be sticking there. East of Lake Ontario, Tug Hill Plateau has had a foot in spots and maybe even more. Then Maine gets into the snow business. Through noon Sunday, we have the snow in the northeast, the Cascades, and showing up in the mountains of the southwest as well. Now, we also have some rainy travel to look at, and that's going to develop in the southwest and the northwest coast.
Does the truth matter?
Now, I will tell you this. I will not raise taxes on the middle class.
He gives us the largest tax increase in American history.
The era of big government is over.
He gives us a massive government-run healthcare system.
Everybody knows that I have tougher ethics rules than any previous president.
More investigations, more prosecutions, more convictions. And the list goes on and on. Does the truth matter? Does it matter to you?
If you're ready to do business on the internet and you're wondering where to start, then the fastest growing internet provider in America invites you to get on board. Now, no matter what size your business is, AT&T makes it easy to catch the wave.
Weather. Every day it moves and changes. There's something happening somewhere, and we bring you all of it in WeatherScope, the day's top weather stories, with live on-the-scene reports during major breaking events, up-to-the-minute forecast for the nation and specific regions, and fascinating insight that lets you understand exactly what's happening and why. WeatherScope. It's all the weather you want. Every 30 minutes on the hour and half hour on the Weather Channel.
Good morning from the Weather Channel. Get a wake-up call plus your local forecast. Call 1-900-WEATHER and choose option 6. 95 cents a minute.
It's always fun to get to know baby animals.
You never know what they're gonna do. That's why your kids and you too will love watching Bonkers for Babies, exclusively from Time Life Kids.
One of the greatest pleasures in life is watching a child do what it does best, frolic around.
That's why your family will love Bonkers for Babies, specially priced at only $4.99. It's your first Zoo Life video, and it's not available in stores. Every Zoo Life video is packed with lots of animals and lots of fun. And if you order by credit card now, you'll get animal bloopers free.
You're going to see some of the funniest, craziest moments of my travels around the world. Oh, gosh.
So go Bonkers for Babies. Call now.
To order, call 1-800-982-0440. Use your credit card and receive animal bloopers free, or send $4.99 plus $3.49 shipping and handling to the address on your screen. Future videos, $14.99 plus shipping and handling.
This is your local forecast. Information you can plan on, because now we show it on the 8s of every hour. Local on the 8s on the Weather Channel. The Weather Channel. No place on Earth has better weather.
It's time now for our winter weather update, and we'll have our winter weather update, or winter storm update, depending, every hour at this time. That'll replace our tropical update. However, the tropical season is not quite over with, so I want to give you a quick glance at typical November stuff here. The areas shaded in red are where tropical storms and hurricanes are most likely to develop in this month. These dots indicate where tropical storms and hurricanes have developed in the past 110 years. And you'll notice that they tend to really favor the Western Caribbean. And we do have a tropical wave there today. Let's show you the satellite picture here, put it into motion. And one thing that you probably can notice, as we have, that this is looking a little bit more impressive as the afternoon wears on. It's got more of a circular form to it. Hurricane Center says, yes, it has become better organized today. It's just a tropical wave, not a depression or storm or anything like that. It is in a favorable area for development because the upper level winds are light. However, it's very close to Central America, and as it moves in over land, that'll be the end of that. But we'll watch it to see if it comes back out into the Pacific. But nothing expected to develop here, so there's some good news for you. All right, let's bring you back home and talk about our winter weather. Well, it's not winter yet, but sure is feeling like it. A hint of winter. Sounds like probably we're getting beat over the head with the winter bat here, I think, instead of a hint. The snow is really coming down east of the lakes in New York, up to a foot of snow, with that cold air coming all the way down and really trying to get into Florida. It'll be cooler tomorrow. But in the next few days, the jet stream goes farther to the north, so we start getting southwesterly flow, and of course you know what that means. Temperatures are going to start warming up. So better things to come, but in the meantime, take out your winter jacket for tonight. If you're going to be heading out, temperatures are expected to get below the 32-degree mark in these areas and stay there for a long enough period of time that if you don't cover up, you say your impatiens or maybe hibiscus, it's going to be a goner after tonight. So this will mark the end of the growing season. And actually, temperatures are already well on their way, only in the 50s now. In Charleston, after getting into the 70s today, in the 50s in Little Rock, 30s across the Great Lakes, of course, with that snow flying. It's 35 right now in Pittsburgh and 35 in Buffalo. Coldest temperature, well, looks like it's 28 up there, International Falls. Fortunately, the winds aren't too strong, so 26 is the wind chill, very close. But we do have wind chills in the teens from Detroit to Buffalo. And New York City right now it feels like 27. It looks like tomorrow we'll have wind chills anywhere from 0 to 20 degrees across the Great Lakes into the Northeast. And in the mountains of the west as well, some pretty cold wind chills. All right, here is our current map. You'll notice the snow coming around that area of low pressure all the way up there in Quebec. Our front is just about off the coast now. It's cutting back across Florida, but not bringing a whole lot of rain there. And then we have our storm system in the southwest. So those are the main players. That lake effect snow, there are some of the amounts for you. A foot, Montague, New York, as of a little bit earlier this afternoon. We may even have to add to that. Jamestown, New York, reporting 6 inches, and there's more on the way in a couple of small areas. 6 to 12 inches already on the ground, another 3 to 6 possible on top of that. So it looks like a wintry weekend and hopefully some nicer weather by the first part of next week. Let's see how Sunday is. 27 tomorrow morning for you in Boston. New York Marathon, 30 degrees. I think Mike's right. You're going to need to bundle up and be ready to shed some clothing along the way as you warm up. It's only going to get to 44, and it'll be blustery tomorrow afternoon. Remember, the snow belts will still get more snow. Temperatures, however, warming up into the 40s in Buffalo. So we may not have such terrible road conditions, hopefully. Down to 29 in Raleigh overnight tonight, 30 in Atlanta, 32 in Little Rock. Even Florida getting into the 50s and upper 60s tonight. Miami, you're still looking good for tomorrow, but Tampa, that's considerably cooler. And Daytona Beach, well, that's the dead of winter by Florida standards, 66 degrees. But the sun will be shining, by the way. So a little chilly for Sunday, and then we start warming it up on Monday. Chicago, 25, so is Duluth, Minneapolis, and Des Moines. Cold night, but temperatures are rebounding very nicely through here because we'll have southerly winds tomorrow. So sunny skies, 55 in Minneapolis isn't bad, 63 in Des Moines, 65 Kansas City. The thought of snow is a long way away, even though we've had 2 rounds at least this year. 31 tomorrow morning in Denver, 27 in Reno, Seattle. It looks like you may get some rain tomorrow, and Cascades will likely see at least a bit of snow, as will the southern Rockies with that storm system that's sitting out there today, not really producing much except cloud cover. We think by tomorrow we will have some rain and some snow and maybe even some thunderstorms. You're in fine shape, though, if you're over on the coast. 73, sunny skies in L.A. Well, stay tuned. We'll find out where the travel problems are for this evening.
The average funeral today now costs over $4,000, but the most Social Security will pay to your survivors, if they qualify, is only $255, leaving your loved ones to pay the balance. If you're age 50 to 80, you can protect your loved ones with Montgomery Ward Life's Mature Life Plan. It pays cash expenses at your family's time of need.
It's important to know my wife or kids won't be burdened if anything happens to me.
I didn't have to take a physical. I didn't even have to answer any health questions.
With the Mature Life Plan, you enroll by mail and you cannot be turned down for coverage.
I feel good knowing that we're protected by Montgomery Ward Life, a company we know we can trust.
Call now and get a free booklet explaining Social Security benefits and free information about the Mature Life Plan.
For free information, call 1-800-718-6363.
Explore the erratic behavior of tornadoes. Watch Target Tornadoes Sunday at noon on Exposures.
And now it's time for the Michelin Drivers Report, brought to you by Michelin and your participating Michelin dealers. We have a problem with wintry travel through noon Sunday, and now that the darkness is coming upon us kind of early in the evening, we're looking at things slickening up around Cleveland, where the temperature has dropped down to 32 again. Snow in the area, onward toward northwest PA and Jamestown, New York, with over 6 inches now. East of Lake Ontario continuing, and that'll eventually shut off later tomorrow, but snow is actually entering the states of Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine, where you haven't seen it that much, especially Maine. There's the whole national picture with a brand new area moving into the southwest. We've already had some snow in the mountains of Arizona, but it'll be moving into New Mexico, Utah, and Colorado as the Cascades begin to get a bit snowy. There's your national radar shot as we're looking at the rain in the mountains, snow forming in the southwestern U.S. And finally ending in a lot of Michigan. The snow is tapering off and the rain moving through Florida, mostly lightly. Kind of windy travel through noon on Sunday. Our WeatherScope will determine whether this cold weather is going to continue.
At Michelin, we believe a tire that's just good in the rain isn't good enough. The Michelin X1, with a 6-year unlimited mileage tread life warranty, gives you better wet traction than any rain tire, plus Michelin confidence in most driving conditions. It has to, because the way we see it, you don't just cover a lot of miles, you cover a lot of weather. The Michelin X1.
Find Michelin tires at this dealer near you, because so much is riding on your tires.
Ahead on WeatherScope, a comprehensive report on the latest weather across the nation. Plus a look ahead, coming up on WeatherScope right after your local forecast. This is your local forecast. Weather information you can plan on, only on the Weather Channel.
Cold weather grips the eastern half of the country, with some areas facing freeze warnings tonight. And wet weather is forcing some people to keep rain gear handy today. These stories plus in-depth forecast and analysis next in this edition of WeatherScope.
Thank you for tuning to the Weather Channel as we discover the temperatures still running well below the mark. In fact, comparing highs on Friday to normal, well below the mark, especially in the southern plains and even in the northeast.
But in New York City today, people not only took the time to dress warmer, as we see in these scenes, they also made sure their pets were bundled up. Don't forget the little one, too. Highs today have been hovering around the 50-degree mark. That's about 10 degrees below normal. Joggers were out today, got a sampling of what the temperatures will be like tomorrow during the New York City Marathon, as once again the forecast will expect another chilly day. Chilly on Friday and also chilly this morning as we started out. Much of the midsection of the country running as much as 10 to 15 degrees shy of where it should be for this time of year. As we look at the situation on the numbers right now, we're examining 20s and 30s still pouring across the Great Lakes in the northeast quadrant of the country. That's ending up with some pretty nippy readings, especially with the wind stirring over that. 60s still taking shape in the deep south and the southwest United States, enjoying a little bit of early November mild readings, but it will be cooling down in Florida as that front you see there will continue to scoot on towards the southeast. Rude awakening the last 24 hours as far as the numbers are concerned. What you see with the minus signs represent that much cooler than it was just 24 hours ago, as much as 15 to 25 degrees cooler in the southeast United States, but a good warm-up taking place in the northern Rockies, as much as 15 to 25 degrees warmer across that area. Big contrast in the temperatures. Behind the front, in the southeast, dropping into the 50s after they were in the 70s and 80s yesterday. 81 at Tampa right now, but 52 in Atlanta. Well, that'd wake you up, wouldn't it? Drop on back to Chicago. It's 35, only 28 at International Falls, but again, very pleasant in the southwest. 80 at Phoenix, 72 in Burbank in California. Look at the wind chill values, pretty nippy though. Look at that, only 17 in Chicago, 13 in Pittsburgh. Feels like 18 in Buffalo with the snow still coming down. So it looks like the snows will continue to be a factor in the northeast. And for a perspective of satellite and radar, we had call on Declan Cannon.
Okay, Dennis, let's take a look at what's happening there before you, the eastern strip of the Carolinas and heading all the way south into extreme northern Florida. Let's take you to North Carolina. What a rotten day around Elizabeth City, North Carolina. A chilly rain started falling early this morning, continued most of the day, although just recently the rain has come to an end. Temperatures fell from the 50s into the 40s. That's where they remain now. And winds at times earlier today gusting to 30 miles an hour. Tonight, it looks like the clouds will start to move farther away towards the east, and we may have some breaks, but it is going to be blustery out there, so dress appropriately if you're going to be out, especially for any extensive amount of time. All right, there's your satellite view. The high clouds represented by the shade of blue pulling away from North Carolina. The front itself continues to move through central Florida. We've had a shower out at Orlando at the southeast side of town at the airport. You can see more extensive band of rain actually associated with the front. That front has pushed through Ocala. It's between Ocala and Orlando, and it'll usher in a much cooler and much drier air mass to central Florida for the end of the weekend. Now, speaking of the front, there's the culprit as it continues to slide south. High pressure is centered behind the front in northwestern Arkansas. And on the national scope, what a day in the northeast. Cold westerly and northwesterly winds over the Great Lakes. That will continue through tomorrow. And as a result, some very heavy snow in the forecast. We'll take a look at a radar for you. Coming up out of the northeast, this is a Doppler out of Cleveland, Ohio. Northwest winds right now. So we're getting multiple bands coming in off Lake Erie, affecting Cleveland lakefront, heading up towards Ashtabula, Lake Geauga counties, and even in northwestern Pennsylvania. And over in western New York, in Chautauqua County, reports of over 6 inches of snow already as of early this afternoon. There's more snow in the forecast. The big picture shows you the extent of the snow showers. Here's a closer view, and we'll put it into motion. Again, multiple bands with a northwesterly flow. Later tonight, westerly flow takes over, and when we have a westerly wind coming down the length of Lake Ontario, well, we usually set up with a single band of very heavy snow, and we think that will certainly be the case later this evening. You can see, again, the front draped over the northern plains. Pretty quiet over the northwest, although a new front will come in, as you'll see with your forecast in a moment. And over the southwest, more clouds. It's trying very hard to precipitate, but a lot of the precipitation continues to remain aloft, but we could see some scattered sprinkles as we go through the next couple of hours, and plenty of clouds increasing even over southern California.
As you look at the satellite perspective, you get an idea that once again, it appears that winter's not that far behind. Next month, winter will be on its way. One factor which plays a great part in the change of seasons is the angle at which the sun hits the earth. Here's a look at how that works.
In late December, the sun is at a low angle to the horizon for the northern hemisphere. Therefore, the sun is not above the horizon for long each day. The nights are longer and the air is colder. The sun's energy doesn't have as long to warm the atmosphere. But by early April, there is approximately a 30-degree difference in the angle of the sun at midday. This allows for longer days and more sunlight to warm the air. Also, because the sun is at a higher angle, its energy doesn't bounce off the Earth's atmosphere as readily. In winter, that bounce effect also keeps the sun from keeping us warm. By June, the sun is 17 degrees higher in the sky. Besides longer days and less atmospheric bounce, the sunlight is also more concentrated. The concentration is much like holding a flashlight straight above your hand and then holding it at an angle to your hand. Overhead, the light is concentrated. However, at the angle, the light falling in your hand is less concentrated and not as bright. Bill Keneally, the Weather Channel.
Well, let's take a look at the week, and specifically, it's easy for me to say, the week ahead pattern, because we've had some interesting weather changes recently. The weekend pattern features the northwesterly flow of cold air across the Great Lakes. You bet a hint of winter. How about 12 inches plus a hint? That's certainly been the case in western New York up in the Tug Hill Plateau. Here comes the week ahead, though. The jet stream shifts to the north. Southwest flow takes over in the southeast. So what happens is a quick glancing blow of some cool air, and then the warming trend reestablishes itself once again. All right, let's take you through the week. A little more in detail now. The weather map's in motion tomorrow. Cold front slides east of Spokane, Washington. As the day unfolds, that front ends up in western Montana tomorrow. Could see some high elevation snow. Well, what a change. Folks in Cutbank today treated to some 60s. It'll be much cooler tomorrow as the Pacific air mass takes over the show. Precipitation amounts lined up along the Pacific Northwest hills into the southwest, and whatever we get with the front from here on out as it cruises southbound through the Sunshine State. As far as snowfall amounts, downwind of the lakes, and look out in the snowbelt east of Ontario, because this could be a prolonged lake effect snow for the Ontario snowbelt. Certainly cold enough, even tomorrow with the snow continuing, the highs in the 30s in central and western New York. You'll see a quick shot of 60s and 70s over the central plains, but then there'll be a cooling trend for northern Kansas and Nebraska, 50s. Then here come the 40s out of the northern Rockies Tuesday. Wednesday, 40s all over Minnesota and most of Wisconsin. And then Thursday, look for highs around the 30s in International Falls and Duluth, Minnesota. Monday's weather map shows a few showers. I guess the best thing to say about this next week's pattern with that strong west to east flow of air upstairs, no major storms, at least not any seen at this time. You notice the forecast Tuesday, the showers emerging through the lakes, heading into New England, a quick shot. Another batch redevelops from Texas around Houston, Galveston, Dallas, north to St. Louis, Cape Girardeau, Peoria, Carbondale, Mount Vernon, Illinois, Effingham, Chicago. Choo-choo, the rain express continues. And then Thursday, could be quite a wind situation setting up for the northern plains and farther west into the northern Rockies. We're taking you south into Florida in just a moment.
Your smoke detector is at one end of the house. The fire starts at the other. Will your family get out? A First Alert smoke detector on every floor in every bedroom doubles your chances. First Alert says every floor, every bedroom, because every minute counts.
Eye drops have always come in these pointy tip bottles. Now there's a better way. OcuRest. No pointy tip. It rests on my nose, so drops go right in my eye. Incredible. OcuRest, the better way to get drops in your eyes.
This is your local forecast. Information you can plan on, because now we show it on the 8s of every hour. Local on the 8s on the Weather Channel.
This isn't Hollywood, it's the real thing. The greatest tornado home videos are now available from the experts you trust. The Weather Channel, The Chase, Target Tornado, Storm Chaser Warren Fadeley, Tornadoes 1995. The complete set, available individually or in a beautiful gift box for one low price. Available at Tower Records and Video. Take a tornado home today.
I've had a computer for a couple of years now, but to be honest, I didn't see what all the fuss was about. Then I got America Online. Now I use it all the time. It makes my life easier. Watch. Use email to send messages to family and friends. Point and click your way around the internet with America Online's great new web browser. And there's more. Scan hundreds of magazines, get sports scores, enjoy hobbies, even shop online. So call this toll-free number and get everything you need to make your life easier and more fun.
Right now, the weather is changing. What's here today can be gone tomorrow. Because we know you need to plan and prepare, we dedicate a special team to forecasting the outlook for the days ahead. So you know what to expect. Watch our 5-day planner, 20 minutes after every hour on the Weather Channel. No place on Earth has better weather.
Let's take you to the Sunshine States, where even this far south, some changes are waiting in the wings. A satellite view in motion, the clouds lined up with a front which is between Ocala and Orlando at this time. That front continues to press south. Not a terrific amount of moisture getting sucked into the forward side of the front, so we don't have any intense line of storms, but we had a few renegades that developed earlier today southwest of Orlando, and now the main line with the front, as you can see clearly here, pushing south of Ocala. Down on the south side of the state, things are quiet, but later tonight when the front kicks through, there may be an isolated shower or a thunder shower. And there's a closer view of central Florida. You can see some scattered storms as you head south of Orange County, and also a line of showers also pressing towards Orange and Seminole counties from the northwest. All right, let's take a look at our water temperature chart for you. 75 up at Panama City. 80s, though, still can be found in the Keys. And the forecast highs tomorrow, 65 in Jacksonville, 71 in Clearwater.
Nobody knows more about homes than Century 21 Home Improvements. Hi there, I'm Carrie Whitaker, and a few days ago this was a tired old kitchen. Hard to believe, but thanks to a process called cabinet refacing, Century 21 Home Improvements has made it beautiful again for substantially less than custom kitchen remodeling. This video explains everything, and it's free. Why waste it? Reface it. Refacing begins by removing your old cabinet doors and drawer fronts. The finish is taken off, and the original framework covered with matching laminate. Then, new cabinet doors and drawer fronts are installed in your choice of style and finish. They can also custom build cabinets, countertops, even center islands.
To find out more about cabinet refacing from Century 21 Home Improvements, call now and receive your free video. There's no obligation, so call today.
Want to see more? Well, call for the free video, and you'll see how Century 21 Home Improvements can create the kitchen you want at a price you can afford.
Into our northeast forecast, we examine first off the snow that continues to fall mainly in areas of Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, western New York, especially in the Tug Hill Plateau. Could pick up another 6, 8, 10 inches of snow as the winds gradually come around to a more westerly direction. Will bring that snow a little bit farther to the north in western New York. Meanwhile, as we look at the precipitation and the satellite perspective, you can see the radar and satellite view still indicating snow showers dancing around areas of New York and Pennsylvania while the rain is pushed off from the coastline. How about the forecast after kind of a wet Friday? The weekend shaping up pretty good, and we'll start the work week off nice in Boston. After cool mornings warming up to the 50s, a chance of rain by Thursday. In the Big Apple, it looks like a pretty good looking week so far. Thursday may see some rain. Temperatures cool, especially Monday morning, down to 28, warming the 50s and 60s, seasonable for this time of year. 60s for much of the week in Philadelphia, and for Washington, D.C., 60s should grab it your first full week in November.
Had enough of high credit card rates? You know, the average American pays about 17%. But you're not average. You deserve better. You pay all your bills on time. You deserve to pay less. Now that's more like it. A 7.9% Visa card from a bank you know, Chase Manhattan. Call 1-800-333-9100 to apply for the card that's going to save you money. You can transfer your high-interest balances, and you don't pay an annual fee. So come on, call and apply for a Chase Visa with a fixed 7.9% rate until June 1997. Because credit like yours deserves an interest rate like ours. The 7.9% Chase Visa. Anything more is just too much. 1-800-333-9100.
Get weather forecasts for over 1,600 cities worldwide on the Weather Channel website, www.weather.com. No place on earth has better weather.
Are you tired of struggling to get in shape? Diets that end in failure? Flimsy fitness equipment that just doesn't work? Well, your struggle is over. Introducing the brand new Plus Series skiers from Nordic Track, designed to make the incredibly effective Nordic Track skier workout faster, easier, and simpler for everyone to use. No matter what your fitness goals, from weight loss to improving cardiovascular health to shaping and toning, Nordic Track can help you achieve them better.
In just 12 weeks, Nordic Track users lost more fat, 6.4 pounds. They also lost more inches, 1.7 off the waist and 1.5 off the hips, and improved their cardiovascular fitness by 12.8%.
Give Nordic Track a try. It's the better way to achieve the results you've always wanted.
Get in shape. Lose at least 10 pounds in 60 days with Nordic Track. Satisfaction guaranteed. Call now to order or get a free video and brochure.
This is your local forecast, and stay tuned. The national outlook is just ahead in our 5-day planner. The Weather Channel. No place on earth has better weather.
Let's take you through the 5 days with the business planner, and I'm going to start out with little tropics here, because what we have is what appears, at least from a satellite perspective, to be a humdinger. A fairly organized tropical wave moving west about 10 miles an hour. Now, over the last 6 hours, we've had a lot of convection increasing with this tropical wave, but the wave is pretty much interacting with the landmass, Central America, Nicaragua, Honduras, and that interference from the landmass will really disrupt the ability of this particular wave to develop much further. However, upper levels certainly would indicate, when you look at the broad satellite perspective, what appears to be fairly favorable upper level winds for this tropical wave. In other words, the winds tend to lighten dramatically as we go from, let's say, 10,000 feet above the tropical wave to about 15 to 30,000 feet. The upper level cirrus clouds kind of fanning out in all directions. Farther north in the Gulf, cold front moving through central Florida, and with it a line of showers, an isolated thunderstorm or two possible. Here's a look at the radar over northern Florida. You can see that line of rain as it pushes southeast of Ocala now, the cooler air pushing into northern Florida. During the past couple of hours, if you live in central Florida, Tampa Bay over to Orlando, Melbourne, Daytona Beach, west winds pushed into the region several hours ago, but when the front kicks through, you'll go into more of a northwest wind, and that's when the cooler air will start to finally kick southbound. And finally, one more radar perspective. This is the winter variety. Lake effect snow as you head into northeast Ohio. Cold northwesterly flow of air across Lake Erie. Now, this is the short route, a northwest wind pretty much gives us a trajectory where we don't have a long distance to travel, at least as far as the cold air supply is concerned. So we're getting scattered pockets of snow showers. We do expect, though, heavier snow in the snow belts of western New York. Let's take a look at that forecast and show you exactly what we're counting on as we head through the next 24 hours. High pressure nestles into the lower Mississippi Valley. It's going to be a cool one, the coolest one so far this fall, without a doubt, with clearing skies and little, if any, wind expected, especially under the center of that high. During the day tomorrow, the winds are still producing this lake effect snow as the cold air crosses Lake Erie in Ontario. And my, oh my, we could end up with a very substantial lake effect snow event for the Ontario snow zone, Lewis, Jefferson, Oneida, Oswego counties, setting up for what could be a very prolific lake effect snow event. The reason we say that, prolonged period of winds coming out of the west and west-northwest, and that could last well into Sunday evening. So you're looking at another 24 hours, if not more, where lake effect snow will be occurring. As far as the forecast elsewhere, a front will slide through the Pacific Northwest. It'll drop some rain, especially on the coastal hills of Washington and Oregon. And in the southwest, we actually have an upper low that's spinning southwest of San Diego. Our current forecast trend will take that low right through Southern California tomorrow, and then hightail it farther north and east towards the central Rockies. So as a result, there could be an increase in some measurable precipitation over the southwest, including some high terrain snow. Low terrain snow, though, eastern Great Lakes, as you can see, through noon tomorrow, substantial snow in some areas. The lows tonight under the high, look for 20s and 30s, climbing back into the 50s and 60s tomorrow, though. It's a dry air mass, so the farther south you go, the higher sun angle, you get a better shot at least getting a comfortable recovery. And then as we go through the next couple of days of the coming week, you notice all the cold air over the northern plains. Check out Wednesday and Thursday. Plenty of 30s and especially 40s covering a large area of the upper Midwest and the northern plains, and a rebound to mild conditions in the southeast. No major storm, not with a west to east storm track in the cards, at least through Thursday. So you'll see these weather systems progress fairly rapidly, actually, from the Pacific Northwest through the plains, lakes, New England, that kind of route, and not much opportunity to suck a lot of moisture out of the Gulf. So we pretty much go with the light variety of precipitation for the most part this coming week. Wednesday, it may mean a few showers for Chicagoland and Detroit. Also a few showers possible in eastern Texas around Beaumont and Longview. And then Thursday, quite a bit of wind in the forecast for the northern Rockies. We'll take a look at a couple of radars just around the corner.
My husband is a plain-spoken man from the heart of America, Russell, Kansas. In Russell, you say what you're going to do, and you do it. The truth. First, last, always the truth. When Bob Dole says he'll cut your taxes 15%, he'll cut your taxes 15%. This is Bob Dole. He's a workhorse, not a show horse. And he knows whose money it really is. Your family's.
Welcome to General Nutrition Centers. Gold Card members, this Tuesday you save 20% off everything. So jot it down. 20% discount savings at GNC. Want a Gold Card? Join at GNC. Gold Card members, see you Tuesday.
Explore the erratic behavior of tornadoes. Watch Target Tornadoes Sunday at noon on Exposures.
Focusing in on the radar screens right now, we see some light precipitation trying real desperately to get going back in Arizona, areas of Nevada, California, but most of that not hitting the ground. We do have some snow still working its way around the Great Lakes and rain in the southeast. There's the snow tapering down a little bit in Michigan. In some areas in the UP, they picked up as much as 5 to 9 inches of snow with this particular system. Ohio, Pennsylvania, and New York still picking up some snow. And with the long fetch of cold air rushing over the relatively warmer lake waters of Lake Ontario, looks like Lewis and maybe on up into the Oswego area. Lewis County and the Oswego community could pick up several more inches of snow with this system. Most of that precipitation you see back in Massachusetts and Connecticut is also not making it to the ground. Those are false returns. Rain showers still showing up, pulling offshore from the eastern seaboard of the United States, while it looks like the thunderstorm is still rumbling across central Florida approaching Orlando from the north. And it's trying to get going, but there's a light rain working its way into Arizona.
Hi, I'm Bob Vila with the Craftsman Auto Lock, the latest breakthrough from Sears Craftsman Tools. How's it going under there, Stan?
Well, Bob, I've been doing a lot better. If I don't have to waste so much time adjusting these locking pliers.
Use these Craftsman Auto Lock locking pliers. They size themselves and lock tight with just one squeeze. Set the top jaw in place, squeeze the handles, and Auto Lock locks tight automatically. There's no screw adjustment for sizing, no on-again, off-again refitting. It's all done automatically. Hey, it looks like the whole family's discovered Auto Lock.
Yeah, it locks onto these rusted nuts and loosens them with one twist.
And remember, when you buy from Sears, your satisfaction is guaranteed or your money back. So don't wait. Call now to order your Craftsman Auto Lock pliers.
Have your Sears card or other credit card ready and call 1-800-705-4488. That's 1-800-705-4488. Or send your check or money order for only $19.99 plus shipping and handling to the address on your screen. Call right now.
Ahead on WeatherScope, a comprehensive report on the latest weather across the nation. Plus a look ahead, coming up on WeatherScope right after your local forecast. This is your local forecast. Weather information you can plan on, only on the Weather Channel.
Cold weather grips the eastern half of the country with some areas facing freeze warnings tonight. And wet weather is forcing some people to keep rain gear handy today. These stories plus an in-depth forecast and analysis next in this edition of WeatherScope.
Over the next couple of minutes, we'll highlight the precipitation, that snow that's going on the northeast, and some chilly temperatures. In fact, chilly. We want to show you a scene today in the Big Apple. In New York City on this Saturday, the first Saturday of November, people not only took time to dress themselves warm, but also considered their little pets. Isn't that great? They bundled them up today as temperatures were hovering around 50. That's about 10 degrees below normal. And even the joggers were out today getting a little bit of a sampling of what temperatures will be like tomorrow, especially if they're running in a New York City marathon. Chilly readings, not only in New York City, but embracing much of the midsection of the country. If you compare the numbers to normal on Friday, and again, seeing that much of the central plains well below the mark. As we look at the temperatures and compare them to normal lows on Saturday, again, running anywhere from 5 to 15 degrees shy of where they should be. As we look at the actual numbers right now, 20s, 30s, embracing the Ohio Valley. Pretty chilly stuff. We have some very warm 60s, 70s, and a few 80s back out in the southwest United States. Dramatic change in the last 24 hours. especially if you live in the southeast. The numbers represent, especially if they have a minus sign in front of them, that much cooler than it was at this exact time yesterday. And throughout much of the southeast, from Brownsville, Texas to Atlanta, Georgia, running around 20 degrees colder than normal, colder than yesterday at this time. But the northern plains, a pretty good warm-up. Notice the absence of the minus signs, meaning that is that much warmer than it was yesterday at the same time. 10, 15, 19 degrees warmer. The actual numbers, what's falling into the books right now? 79 at Phoenix, that's nice. 70 in Burbank, 55 in San Francisco. A lot of fog this morning, 59 up around Portland, Oregon. Northern Plains, though, they're feeling the chunk of wintertime. 32 around Minneapolis, 54, cool reading in Little Rock, looking for some frosty conditions right in here tonight. 49 in Atlanta, but 78 checking in at Tampa, quite a difference. The wind stirring over these nippy readings are dropping the wind chills on down to 14 at Burlington, Buffalo, 19 at Cincinnati. So make sure if you have any Saturday night dinner plans, or if you're heading out to check a movie, make sure you are bundled up. It's pretty chilly stuff. This is a satellite perspective of the Carolinas. I'm going to let Declan Cannon tell you about what it's looked like from the vantage point in North Carolina of recent.
Okay, well, let's take a look at that satellite view. And again, you see plenty of high clouds streaking to the northeast, heading through the Carolinas. And you notice what's happening down here on the back edge. The clouds rapidly moving away out of the picture. So some good news here in a way. Clearing will take place. However, with the clearing skies tonight, boy, do we have some cold air, as you'll see in the forecast. And what a rotten day in eastern North Carolina. Show you some of the scenes. Chilly rain. Temperatures were in the 50s early this morning. Now the temperatures have fallen since this morning. We're now in the 40s, but the winds at times earlier today near the front gusting 30 miles an hour, so some low wind chills. And with that rain out there, it was definitely an uncomfortable day. But the rain has gone. It's out of the way. The clouds still linger, but even they will leave soon, and we'll be left with improving weather, but a cool night on tap. The front itself, it's moving through central Florida with some showers and thunderstorms. You can see a few renegade storms there south of Orlando. Here comes the main line with the actual front moving through the central part of the state. And take a look at that current map. Here comes our front south of Ocala, north of Orlando. And the center of high pressure is located over northwestern Arkansas. Big-time lake effect snow setting up for tonight and tomorrow. Widespread snow showers now. We have northwest winds, and usually with a northwesterly flow cutting across both Lake Ontario and Lake Erie, we'll have several or multiple bands of snow squalls here. What we expect is that later on tonight and then continuing into tomorrow, the winds are going to go back more into a westerly direction, and that should allow plenty of opportunity for the cold air to come down the length of Lake Ontario and give us some exceptionally heavy snow. This is Doppler out of Cleveland. That's the radar site, the yellow indicating some interference right around the immediate radar site. But here comes the snow showers that continue to come in as the cold air pushes across Lake Erie. And on the big view, you can see some of the snow showers even as far east as the Poconos in northeast Pennsylvania. Central and western New York, there's Lake Erie, Lake Ontario. Jamestown, over 6 inches of snow so far from this particular lake effect snow. And around Oneida County, heading up to Oswego County, Jefferson, Lewis counties. Again, tonight and then continuing through perhaps all of tomorrow, even into tomorrow night. There could be some very heavy snow. Quiet in the plains, although cool. And in the southwest, well, an area of low pressure is spinning its wheels. The center of the upper lows west of San Diego, but it's on the move tonight. A couple of showers here, finally starting to make their way down to the ground instead of evaporating. And eventually some rain could change over to snow, even around Flagstaff as we head into the overnight hours.
As we look at the big blue marble, it looks like you have some thoughts of perhaps seasonal changes. In fact, you may be looking forward to winter. Next month, winter will be on its way. One factor which plays a great part in the change of seasons is the angle at which the sun hits the earth. Here's a look at how that works.
In late December, the sun is at a low angle to the horizon for the northern hemisphere. Therefore, the sun is not above the horizon for long each day. The nights are longer and the air is colder. The sun's energy doesn't have as long to warm the atmosphere. But by early April, there is approximately a 30-degree difference in the angle of the sun at midday. This allows for longer days and more sunlight to warm the air. Also, because the sun is at a higher angle, its energy doesn't bounce off the Earth's atmosphere as readily. In winter, that bounce effect also keeps the sun from keeping us warm. By June, the sun is 17 degrees higher in the sky. Besides longer days and less atmospheric bounce, the sunlight is also more concentrated. The concentration is much like holding a flashlight straight above your hand and then holding it at an angle to your hand. Overhead, the light is concentrated. However, at the angle, the light falling in your hand is less concentrated and not as bright. Bill Keneally, the Weather Channel.
Let's take a look at what's coming up with the week, and specifically the week ahead pattern. Here's what we're in right now. Northwesterly flow delivering the cold air, a hint of winter. Very heavy lake effect snow downwind of Lake Ontario, also some lake snows in the northern lakes. But coming up this week, it looks like the jet stream goes back to the north and the warm air, the southwest flow, comes in on the western side of the high pressure system, so we are expecting warmer conditions as we go through this coming week in the southeast. Here's your forecast tomorrow. High pressure moves from Arkansas to Tennessee during the course of the day. The front is down into the Keys. Lake effect snow off Ontario. The decreasing lake effect snow off Lake Erie. And a cold front will slide east of Washington and Oregon and make it into northwestern Montana by the time we get into late afternoon. Look at this temperatures tomorrow. The high moves to the east. The southerly winds pump the warm air up, so we get some 60s, maybe a few 70s showing up as we get into north central Kansas, Emporia, Topeka, perhaps some 70s. And then as we go into the new week, you can see that mild air in place over the southeast with daytime highs in the 60s and the 70s. Cool air in northern New England, not that uncommon this time of the year, and you notice a large area of cool 30s and 40s over the Rockies, and then pushing eastbound into the northern plains. 80s return to Florida, South Texas, and even a little warm bubble showing up in the southwest part of Arizona. As far as precipitation, remember the jet stream or the upper air winds we showed you, west to east? Fast-moving weather systems, fairly weak. Not much ability to tap the Gulf of Mexico with that type of pattern. So the way we see it going through the week is limited precipitation. There'll be some showers kicking up as we go from Monday to Tuesday heading through the lakes. Wednesday, those showers from the lakes south into eastern Texas. And then as we go to the west, look out for the wind. It starts to really kick up Wednesday, and Thursday could be a very windy day, especially across Montana, North and South Dakota, maybe a few rain or snow showers in Minnesota, while a new front brings more wet weather to the Pacific Northwest.
If you're ready to do business on the internet, and you're wondering where to start, then the fastest growing internet provider in America invites you to get on board. Now, no matter what size your business is, AT&T makes it easy to catch the wave.
This is your local forecast. Information you can plan on, because now we show it on the 8s of every hour. Local on the 8s on the Weather Channel.
Now, the Weather Channel can give you weather now on the internet as a service of Pathfinder. Forecasts at your fingertips, just a click away on the World Wide Web when you get weather now from the Weather Channel. Now available on Pathfinder at pathfinder.com.
Now from the Weather Channel, 1-900-WEATHER and 1-800-WEATHER are better than ever. Better at giving you comprehensive weather information whenever you want it. Better because they're easier and quicker to access. You get local forecasts, international conditions, year-round severe weather updates, seasonal information, and driving reports. 1-900-WEATHER from your home or office. 1-800-WEATHER using your credit card from anywhere else. Both just 95 cents a minute. No place on earth has better weather.
Discover fascinating home videos, books, CD-ROMs, calendars, and more in the Everything Weather catalog. Unique gift ideas from the Weather Channel. Call 1-800-250-5979 to receive your free catalog today.
Time once again for international weather. We're headed over to Europe to check out the scene. Our satellite perspective showing exactly what's going on in the North Atlantic. There's Greenland sticking out like a thumb, doesn't it? Here's much of Europe right in here, and here's the extreme northeast United States and portions of Canada. You can see the stormy weather that continues to traverse areas of the Atlantic. In fact, some of that stormy weather is working its way across the UK even as we speak. Some of the cloudiness with the other system advancing on over towards the Scandinavian countries. Reflect back on yesterday to see what the highs were, running from the 30s and 40s over the Scandinavian area, Norway and Finland, to 50s across Central Europe, as warm as the 70s in southern areas of Spain and Portugal. How about 75 at Madrid? Nice in Nice, 68, 52 at Copenhagen. Stockholm coming in with about 48. Midday tomorrow we'll find one system moving on in towards the Scandinavian area, another one across the North Atlantic, promising Monday to find some more showers. As far as the numbers, very close to what they were on Friday and Saturday, 30s in the Swiss Alps to 70s in southern Spain and Portugal.
Does the truth matter?
Now, I will tell you this, I will not raise taxes on the middle class.
He gives us the largest tax increase in American history.
The era of big government is over.
He gives us a massive government-run healthcare system.
Everybody knows that I have tougher ethics rules than any previous president.
More investigations, more prosecutions, more convictions. And the list goes on and on. Does the truth matter? Does it matter to you?
As we look at our traveler's update, keep in mind that there will be some rainy conditions that will continue across southern areas of the country, including into sections of Florida, where it looks like the scattered showers and thunderstorms will persist in that immediate area. Looking at the radar in central and south Florida, once again seeing some of the scattered thunderstorms that were in Ocala up to Jacksonville earlier are now sliding on down towards Daytona Beach, and it looks like that will persist as the evening wears on. Another area we're going to have to watch is windy travel, that occurring on primarily up in the northeast quadrant of the country, and anticipate some of the windy conditions to create a few problems as far as keeping a firm grip on the steering wheel. I wanted to show you exactly what one more radar looks like, and that would be in areas of the northeast where we see some snow bands continuing to wrap on through, coming off of Lake Ontario, depositing some heavier snow in especially Lewis County right now. Anywhere from Watertown to Syracuse, we urge you to be careful as snow squalls will continue. We're singing another tune of stormy weather. Will that be in the tropics or with winter? Coming up.